Buddha,
Yeah.
did you take your identity card?
Yes, I've got
The
it.
passport?
Just hang on, hang on. I do have the passport because I don't actually need the passport.
No, but take it.
I realize
And
that.
then the pen and then the mask. And don't take the mobile inside.
Don't take the mobile. Yeah,
Don't
of course
take
you
the
can't.
mobile
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Okay, Buddha.
Hey. Hello. Hello. Good morning. You're not going to get on me, right? Come on. I'm already dirty. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Hey, hey. Wait, 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 wait. I first left Sri Lanka in 1974, if I recall. I was 7 and I went with my mother to the United Kingdom. We returned in 1977 and then I went to school here and in 1983 at the end I went to school in England. So, and since then I've been away. So first time was 3 years, the second time is 37 years and counting. So I'm 53, so 40 years of that I've been outside Sri Lanka. Let's see, I've lived in 3 countries. The United Kingdom, first when I was a little boy and also when I left Sri Lanka in 83 for further schooling and for university. Then I moved to Hong Kong where I started my career and then from there moved to Singapore. I've visited Sri Lanka very few times since I left. I don't know how to put it, but obviously I'd exposed to the other parts of the world. I don't know if anyone remembers the Vijay Kumaratunga song, Rallen Rallata Pavan Orua. I was a bit like that, Orua. Basically I was somewhere else doing my thing with friends from around the world that I actually didn't visit as often. I did visit a few times. Obviously my mother's here, but not often enough. I lost my connection effectively in 1983. I think having not been here, not coming back so often, the war was another reason, and as soon as we had a little boy, we were reluctant to come. But the reality is, deep down, I missed it, but I didn't do anything about it. This is my identity. I'll never give it up unless I'm forced to or circumstances I cannot see today. Why would I want to give up my birthright? This is who I am. That is why I've never given it up. I don't know how else. It may be a foolish decision. I know for travel it's clearly a useless passport at the moment, but I feel very strongly. I had the opportunity if I wanted to. I could go to UK. Even today I could be Swiss. There were friends I know who had to leave the country due to after 83, and they got citizenship elsewhere, and good for them. But I didn't leave because of a situation like that. I chose to leave. I won't give this up unless I'm forced to give it up because I do something very silly. Simple as that. I came to Sri Lanka on the 9th of March 2020, and I've been here since. I came for the Royal Thomaian, and I came here to see my mother, to renew my passport. That's why I came here, and I came here for 1 week with literally a tiny bag of very little. So it's been an interesting journey so far. What happened clearly is COVID took off. For me in particular, I fell ill. Not COVID, thank goodness, and I couldn't get on the flight back to Singapore on the 17th of March. The airport was closed. Singapore brought in new rules a little earlier that people who are outside have to remain outside because they had problems with imported cases. So I kind of got stuck here, and there was obviously curfew here. It gave me the opportunity to basically look around, and it's been an interesting routine. I had to find various ways to settle in. Hard to explain everything, but I'm a bit of a history buff, and I want to understand various locations, locales in Colombo. Where can I go based on some historical event or some significance? So I go for lots of walks. I think I know roads and alleys that my mother does not, because I like getting lost. And the idea behind that is some exercise, but also as a result, I stop by the kades, say my ayubongs, try my bakala singala, which actually my Sinhala is not too bad, but I get stuck. And really, because I'm interested in how people were thinking, especially in the lead up to the election. So going to see and talk to people quite randomly on my walks in particular gave me that kind of bond that you would normally not have, either because you're too busy or you're not in the country. And for me, I'm in the country. I'm busy, but I make time to go out to walk. And it's something, one of the beauties of being stuck is you have the time. If you forget something today, you can go the next day because it's just your normal routine. Until today, I'd never voted in Sri Lanka. If you had told me when I got here in March, even with COVID and its restrictions, I'll still be here in August, I wouldn't have believed you. So since I am here, I made absolutely sure that I did cast my vote. So I've done it, and it's been a delight. In my walks, I used to pass Parliament all the time, and often I can't stop swearing at it because I think it should be better for everybody. I think, and I think my friends think, that I'm extremely political. I believe I'm right. I believe they're right. I do that because I like debate, not just about political issues, but about various decisions that affect people in a democracy in particular. To me, it's not splitting hairs to say that the two are different, and we don't really need to go into the ancient roots of some of the words, especially patriot. I'm a patriot because to me, that is someone who loves his or her country, but does not assume his or her race, religion, or any other grouping is in some way superior to other people. I, therefore, as a patriot, can be very critical of my country and others who have views that I don't agree with or policies I don't agree with. A nationalist to me is someone who is more likely to feel some sense of superiority, and as a result cannot really go beyond that. They may find it difficult to criticize themselves or some of the policies because they start off by assuming they are in some way superior. I've been thinking about a few things the last few months in particular, and what would I wish for Sri Lanka, if you like, a vision. Two words come to mind, and it's the optimal balance between development and reconciliation. When am I going back to Singapore? I love Sri Lanka, I want to come back, I want all of that. I'm going to miss Sri Lanka a lot, but I need to get back. There have been so many good things that have happened to me while I've been in Sri Lanka this time. But really, the most important thing for me, and the best thing that's happened to me this time is I spent a number of months with my mother. I haven't done that for 40 years. So, yeah, I mean, seeing friends, doing stuff, going for walks, voting, all of that is great, but spending time with Ammi was very precious, is very precious.
Is that you, Puta?